What's up, Life Regenerators? Dan McDonald here. I gained 45 pounds in 40 days after the 40-day water fast. So 40 days ago, I broke a 40-day water fast and I was weighing on the scale 128 pounds. This morning, I weighed myself at 173 pounds. So that is a net gain of 45 pounds in 40 days. And I've had a lot of requests over the years on how to gain weight on a raw vegan diet, which obviously is totally possible. I'm a thin guy, I'm an ectomorph, I'm a hard gainer, and I'm not really genetically set up for a lot of muscle building, but I do like to stay fit and in shape, and I did slow my gains down by being incredibly, physically active as well, with a lot of cycling, a lot of hiking, a lot of running, a lot of swimming, rebounding, and yoga. Other than that, if you wanted to really gain weight, and you would slow down on a lot of those activities, and you would spend more time with resistance training in the gym. So I don't recommend gaining weight unless you're actually gaining muscle weight. It's okay to have a little bit extra body fat, but you have to accept your body the way that it is and gain healthy weight and tone up. And obviously one of the best ways to do that, as you know, I've been speaking about this for many years, is to incorporate as much fresh fruits and vegetables as possible in your diet. The myriad of reasons of why those foods keep you toned, I don't have time to go into today. Suffice to say that the processed packaged food tends to sit there. Those artificial oils, those low quality carbohydrates, and then the cooked high heated animal fats as well tend to stick there. And so you want to eat foods that don't stick to you or leave residues. But you do want to have some carbohydrates for energy, and then you want to have some healthy fats for cellular integrity, and then you want to have a moderate amount of protein depending upon your physical activity. So again, I want to emphasize, I think it's really important when you go to put on weight, for all those of you who want to gain weight, is that resistance training. Now I know that maybe you're like a 22-year-old skinny young girl or something, right? And you're like, oh, the gym, I hate the gym or whatever. You've got to do something to build muscle. Whether that's putting a backpack on that's got 20 or 30 pounds in it and you go hiking up the trail and you build your leg muscles and your glutes and your calves. You build muscle. Or out cycling. Sometimes what I used to do when I wanted to get a better workout and build my legs up is I would strap a 20-pound weight to my bike rack with a bungee cord. So I had more weight when I was going up the hills. And that builds strength in your legs. Yoga is good. It's moderate, but obviously the best thing is the weight training. Now, a lot of you guys, young guys, older guys, whatever, more mature men, you understand the gym thing a lot more. It's easier for us guys. Generally, you'll see probably a 4-to-1 ratio of guys to girls at the gym, give or take. But the resistance training is really good. Now, for eons, the mom would be carrying a baby or on her shoulder or doing stuff or pounding, she'd be pounding the corn or breaking up the stuff or schlepping the teepees along, or, we were out working, and now everything's push button, push the phone, sit on your butt, drive through. So we're not getting the same amount of physical exercise, we're getting way more calories, and the quality of those calories are more and more just going down, down, down. Food like stuff. A lot of food that's being consumed is not food at all, and it's going to really mess up your health. I'm not going to go into a long dissertation on that, but whole, natural foods are the best. You know what I'm saying? And then you want to be aware of pesticides and, you know, preservatives, additives, sugar, hydrogenated oils, etc., etc., etc. So the more whole food that you get from the farmer's market or the co-op, and then, you know, eat as much of it as you can raw and alive for several reasons that I've explained in millions of other videos. And then, you know, if you're gonna cook your food, make sure that you're just starting out with a base of whole foods, you know, and you prepare it as simply as you can. You know, you try not to cook fats. Like if you're gonna have some French fries or whatever, sprinkle the olive oil on after, so that you don't heat that olive oil up to a high temperature and ruin it, because cooked olive oil is poison. Raw olive oil in small amounts is a, you know, medicine. You know what I'm saying? So the least cooking you do, the better. The least processing you do, the better. This is perfect. It just came right off the tree today. I cut this open. I don't scrape the seeds out. I eat the seeds. And so that's a more whole food than somebody who cuts it open, scrapes out all the seeds and throws them away because they're peppery and bitter. But it's like, that's the medicine. That is the protein and the fat and the anti-parasitic, antiviral, antifungal properties in papaya seeds. And if you've ever had papaya seeds, you know what I'm talking about. So I eat all the seeds. That's the best part of the papaya. I get seeded watermelons and eat the seeds, because that's where the zinc is and the minerals and the proteins and the fats that make fruits more balanced. That's why a lot of fruitarians get out of balance, because they don't eat the seeds. And the seeds are a really good part of the food, especially in papayas and citrus, because then that has an antibacterial, antifungal, antiparasitic effect in the gut. So nature's really smart like that. So today I'm just going to share with you my little protocol that I've done over the last 4 weeks. So it's been about a month, because when I came off the fast really slow and mellow, you know, low fat and just fruits and juices, and then I moved into salads, and then I kind of got more and more. And then after about 2 weeks, I started with the Pyridine protein, and then I started going to the gym. So I've been only lifting for about a month. So I think I've had, you know, 3 or 4 leg workouts, 3 or 4 chest workouts, and 3 or 4 back workouts. And now I'm actually I designed a core workout. I was doing core yoga, but it just wasn't enough. I really want to get to the gym and just get ripped. So I'm going to include, so instead of 3 days a week, I'm going to do 4 days a week, because I have been, when you eat enough protein before, a little bit before with your midday meal, and then after, you recuperate a lot faster, especially when you've got a formula like this that has the proteolytic enzyme and the proteolytic probiotic. So it's got protease and it's got acidophilus probiotic, and those help to break down, digest, and utilize this micronized protein, which already has a lot of surface area. Like meat is very inefficient for a myriad of 10 billion reasons, of like ruin the planet style, and hella horrific, you know, holocaust on animals. Whew. But yeah, we're still in denial about that a little bit as human beings, but it was, you know, the vegan thing is starting to take off, so that's good. Anyways, my focus is primarily on helping human beings to get well. That's my main thing. So anyhow, my little program here is pretty basic, and I'll just go over it real quick with you, and then I'm actually headed out to the gym to go do legs today. So anyways, I start every morning with either 32 ounces of water, and I alternate between 32 ounces of water and 32 ounces of Shilajit, which is just this, it's a humus type material that is, you know, made from plants that are 10,000 years old. So it's plant minerals, condensed plant minerals. You just put a little bit in the water, and then that keeps you from having any kind of mineral deficiencies, because the soil, it sucks, man. There's no doubt about that. All this commercial farming and non-organic and not, you know, letting the soil rest and bringing in amendments and really working a nutrient-rich, highly microbial, you know, mineral-dense soil to get really high vibrational fresh fruits and vegetables is less and less these days. So the Shilajit is a good way to make sure you have those minerals, especially like the ones that are harder to find, like iodine and stuff like that, to keep your thyroid going and whatnot. All your glands run from minerals, so you want to get as much as you can from the live foods. That's why live foods is such a good way to go, because then the minerals are still alive. You know what I mean? And when you cook them, you really diminish the enzymes which deliver the minerals. So that's why live food is a zillion times better for a living being. You have 70 to 100 trillion living cells, and when you take this big pile of dead cells and put it into your body, it's going to take all that electrical conductivity, activity, and cellular activity, and it's going to take a lot of energy to go down and surround this big pile of dead stuff that you just put in, when you could have eaten a couple of papayas, and then that papaya that has that biophotonic energy, the light of life, because it's still alive, it just came off the tree this morning, so the cells in it and the life force energy in it is much higher. And then fruit makes you beautiful. It gives you beautiful skin. And I think you need to stay balanced, and there's a lot of nuances to that. It's unfortunate I'm not going to have time to get into that today, but you know, the fruit has gone down in quality, but if we were to rise up in our consciousness and start creating a market, then more farmers would be able to grow more food, put more time into the soil. It's a real rough game. They pushed all the small farmers out, so the huge agricultural conglomerates, and don't even get me started on the whole conspiracy of it all, to pretty much wipe out healthy humans. You know, so you have to be real smart. And you gotta be quiet if you want to protect your butt from these psychopaths that are running this thing. But anyways, that's inconsequential via the context of this video. Can you dig it, baby? So anyways, first is water and Shilajit. I alternate that because you just got to stay hydrated. Number two, now I don't have any juice. I just cleared some I opened up some coconuts that I harvested this morning, and I just put it in here. Now normally this would be and I'll do 64 ounces of juice, and this will be between 10 and noon sometime, depending upon a few factors, whether I have a consult or whatever's going on that morning. So, but I'll usually pretty much start the day with 64 ounces of juice. On a normal plan, and this is what I'm saying, like, you eat more when you want to gain. On my normal lifestyle, just the maintenance is just a 32 ounce with the enzymes. And the enzymes here just help to clear everything from the night before, give some energy, and I drink that with the juice. So I drink 64 ounces of some kind of juice: lemon ginger blast, pineapple, cucumber, cilantro, mint, coconut water drink I have a couple times a week. Sometimes I'll just do coconut and cucumber. Other times I'll do straight up OJ. Yes, 64 ounces of orange juice, and that gets the wheels spinning. And that's my coffee, is fresh fruit and vegetable juices. I'll have carrot juice every once in a while. I'll drink a plain cucumber juice every once in a while. Apple, celery, carrot, apple, beet, whatever. Just in the mornings I've been having just the liquids, and that's a great way to start the day. to flush the system, and then after that, you know, you go to the bathroom, number 2, bam, and you're ready to rock. Now you've got glucose for the brain for the day, and it's going to store some in your liver, and it's going to store some in your brain, and it's going to start that process of, you know, feeding you the carbohydrates that you need to have a lot of energy, because you need carbs, but the living carbs are, in my opinion, probably 10 times better. And that's why everybody says, I went on a low carb diet and I felt better, because when they're talking about carbs, they're talking about donuts, bread, cakes, pastries, pancakes, and grains, you know. And there's a lot of issues with those things. If you're not really sure where your source is or whatever, not only to mention the one, that they have the phytates, but that they're not soaked and sprouted, but then also, even further down the line, that they've been sprayed with different pesticides and chemicals and stuff like that. And if you're getting like processed food at a restaurant or a grocery store or Starbucks, it's very likely that you're getting chemicals in the food. Okay, we'll leave it at that. You've got to be savvy these days, and you've got to know your sources. Okay, next I've got this little, that's my breakfast, is the 64 ounces of juice. For lunch, between 1 and 3 p.m., and this is like basically, what I'm showing you is basically the volume, but it switches up every day. So it's a different kind of a juice, but enzymes every day. I just take the Lifezyme powder, boom. Next is lunch. This is where I carb up before I hit the gym. So I use carbs to get the energy, so I'm just jacked. And then I use the proteins and the fats at night to shoo, boom, okay? So for example, what I've got here, I've got, 5 oranges, 10 bananas, and 2 papayas. And I have this really great smoothie that I make. Now, I'll give you a couple of examples of what I might eat. I might take these bananas and these papayas and chop them up in a bowl with the seeds, of course. And then I'll use the coconut yogurt, which is thebomb.com. Look at that. I already ate out of this one this morning, so it's not going to blow up. God, that is so good. I have 5 jars in the fridge, and I just harvested coconuts this morning. Stay up on it with the coconut yogurt, because that's the medicine for the modern age. So I might take the papayas and the bananas and just make a big old bowl with the coconut yogurt. Another thing that I like to do is juice these oranges in my citrus press, and then I'll take the papaya and I'll peel it, and then I just chop it into chunks and throw it in the blender with some bananas, and then I put some Life Essentials in there, because I found out, and I need to explore this a little bit more, but I found that when I put have a little bit of protein before I go to the gym, I seem to be able to push harder and stronger and longer. I'm not exactly sure why that is. I'm sure somebody out there has got some ideas on why that is, but I just noticed that on accident a couple of times, because I got an intuition, and I was like, oh, this isn't really the normal DTM protocol to have like a protein meal midday, which I did a couple of times because I was really craving it. And I always notice it comes after leg day, which is today. Once I'm done with this video, I'm gonna go do hack squats and lunges. Oh God. Anyways, do it. It's cool, man. The hack squats and lunges is like, that's where my ass is like ripped for about like 3 or 4 days. But my butt was flat during the water fast because everything just goes flat. But now it's like back to badonkadonk style, so it's cool, you know what I mean? So I'll take the orange, the banana, and the papaya and blend it. But when I do like and this is one of the very rare smoothies. Like I've said in an Instagram post, I make about 1 smoothie per every 100 juices or so. But I do take it I do make this one because it is pretty dankety. And I put that in there and I just, I don't kill it to death. I just barely, so it's like chunky. Just so that I don't want to get it, I don't like to spin it too hard, you know what I'm saying? The food. I just like to, I use the blender just to just to break it up, and it's like got little banana chunks, little papaya chunks, stir in the Life Essentials, which is like it's a vitamin E, which is good for your brain, and it's got 22 essential amino acids, and essentially it's the raw rice bran. And the bran is what allows the rice plant to grow into another plant. So it's got all the life force energy in the rice bran. And it tastes really good too. And I make tons of different nut and seed milks as well. And I've been planning on getting to that. I'm going to do it. I'm going to get some videos made. I've been busy for real, man. And so I'm going to show you how to make some of these nut milks. Sesame milk, macadamia nut milk, Brazil nut milk, almond milk, and the Life Essentials just makes it more milky. And it just gives it this smooth, creamy, sweet flavor. And plus, when you have all 22 essential amino acids, you're in a good zone, you know? Again, that's raw rice bran protein with vitamin E. Pretty good stuff. Really good stuff. While it's on top of my mind, keep in mind that all of these Pyradime foodstuffs are, all of the material that's brought in is third-party tested for bacteria, heavy metals, and pesticides. And then it's tested again after my buddy Dave, who's a really good friend of mine, formulates all this stuff and puts it together. He's got a real good intention. He's a real good guy, real pure heart, and has a real connection to Yeshua. And so that puts a good vibe into all this food, and he's the overseer of the whole thing. So these foods are tested. And if there's anything detected, the batch doesn't go through. And so these are very fresh, very high consciousness foods. All the different stuff from Pyradime. So sometimes I'll add some bee pollen, which is a really great supplement if you're totally 100% hardcore vegan. I'm sorry? No, I'm just kidding. I totally get that. I respect that. I understand it. My friend's a beekeeper, and there's just no issue. There's no violence. The bees, like all nature, produce more than enough. And I think that was God's plan originally, was abundance. And Mother Nature, working with God, the light, the consciousness. It's an abundant world. There's so much abundance here in the nature natural. And I noticed it too when I was living on my parents' farm. There was thousands of apple trees that the pioneers had planted, these 100-year-old apple trees, and no one would eat the apples. They would all go to Costco and buy chicken drummies. And I'm out there, I'm a raw food dude. I'm like, are you kidding me? You guys should at least make apple pies, but they didn't even do that. They went to the grocery store to buy food, and there's hundreds of cherry trees dropping with cherries, plum trees, pear trees, apple trees. I'm in hog heaven, stoned out of my mind on fruit. Take one bite, throw it down to the horse. Pick another one, take one bite, throw it down to the horse. The horses love me. I would sit up in these apple trees until I was stoned on apples, and it was great. But no one did that, and that was nature's abundance, and that's how it always was. And we could go back to that if we were smart. We would plant fruit trees. No one ever talks about fruit, but it's the answer, because you don't have to do anything except plant the tree once, come back in 20 years, and eat for 50 years or 100 years, and then eventually the tree just quits producing. After about 50 to 100 to 150 years, unless they're olive trees. It's like 1,000 years old olive tree. Hey, Jesus was eating these olives, you know. So anyways, I'll put this, I'll put a little bit of the bee pollen. Here's the truth though, man. I just bought this one today. And I already ate 1 cup. That's all I've had today. I've had about 6 coconuts with the meat and about a cup of bee pollen. And it's 4 o'clock in the afternoon and I'm about to hit the gym. So, you know, I didn't get even a chance to, so let me just keep going here for you. And then I just carb up. And that might be something like this. Lots of bananas I've been eating. I've also been eating a lot of lychees because it's lychee season. I have also had Chicos, which are really good. What else do I carb up on? Long guns. You know, and then just any other little fruit that's laying around. But you know, the consistency has been the oranges, the bananas, the papayas, the lychees, the longans, and then that I'll just have a carbohydrate meal in the middle of the day. Next, then I go to the gym and I have a cycle. I do back and biceps, and then I do ectomorph. Cut me a break, would you? You're not big like me, Life of General. I'm bigger than you. No, I want to be just fit, you know, for myself. And I can't compare because these other guys are way buffer than me, way bigger, totally different genetics. And it's taken me a long time to accept that, you know. And I want to encourage everyone to accept themselves, you know. So then I go to the gym after that meal. I'll let it sit for about an hour or something. And then I hit the gym and I hit it hard. And I hit the back and the biceps. And then I hit the chest and the triceps. And then on another day, you know, and sometimes I'll do 2 days in a row. Some days I'll miss a day. It depends on how I'm feeling, you know. But within the week, I've been getting 3 workouts in pretty much: chest and back, or chest and tris, and back, and biceps. And of course, when I do back, I do, you know, shrugs and everything else. And then I'll do legs, where I do. I have 2 different leg workouts, 2 different back and bicep workouts, and 2 different chest and tricep workouts. And I just go back and forth between the 2. Keep it easy for myself, and I've seen a lot of progression in the weights that I've been able to lift. And then on leg day, I do you know, quads, hamstrings, calves, glutes, boom. You know what I'm saying? So. Cool, fun. So yeah, you don't want to gain weight unless you're gaining like fitness and strength. So whatever you got to do, you know, to build strength. You don't want to, I'm going to eat a lot of food and sit around. Whoa. You don't want to do that. You want to build your heart and build your brain. You want to get out and have fun and move around, get stronger, you know. And the resistance training is the best way. So for you women who are worried about it, don't worry about it, but it'll help you with your hormones, and it'll keep you healthier and stronger and fit and toned, you know, and it's good for you. It's really, really good for you to lift weights. Now, women and men used to be out working, and now everything's push button, so we're getting a little chunky, you know, so you got to emulate nature, and that'd be like, you got to go do something. You know, for an hour or 2 a day, you got to go out and get your hustle and build your muscle, you know. Last but not least, after the meal, after the workout, I try to come back. Well, what I do is I go to the river after the workout, and I soak in the river for about 10 or 15 minutes to bring the inflammation down. The river is not ice cold, but it's pretty chilly. You know, it's coming right off the mountain, and so it's pretty cool water. You get in there and you just sit, and it just brings the inflammation down. Then you come home, and this is kind of the key here for the weight gain, is the Puridyme Natural Protein. They also have a berry flavored as well that can be used in the morning if you need if you want to have a little bit of protein in the morning. I feel like I just do better with the straight carbs in the morning for my morning coffee, and then some carbs and a little bit of protein at lunch, and then I go straight up protein and fat at night with the Puridyme. And I'll just take this right here and I'll put it into a bowl and mix it up with some water and lemon and just dip the vegetables in it. And I have a million recipes that I'd like to share with you. This is the most versatile stuff. I can't believe the stuff I'm coming up with. The crackers, the cheeses, the sauces, the dressings, put it in some yogurt. But the different hummuses and dips and dressings that I make utilizing this it's pretty fantastic. It's just hemp and pea in a great combination with some goji berry protein, which enhances human growth hormone. And then it actually has some Jerusalem artichoke, which is really good for diabetics. So this could be a really good source of nutrition and balance for anyone who's experiencing blood sugar issues. This is going to just keep you solid as a rock, because that's what it is. This right here, it's just, you eat it and you're just doosh. You know, it's light enough to where you're not bogged down like potatoes and meat or something, but it's hearty enough to where it's like boom. And it's got a nice balance of carbs, proteins, and fats. 1 gram of fat, really, 6.3 grams of carbohydrate and 21 grams of protein. So it is most definitely a protein powder, you know. And pea protein, hemp protein, goji berry protein, Jerusalem artichoke, protease, which is an enzyme that breaks down proteins, and that's a real big issue, are just these protein plaques from just excessive dead proteins, whether it's the proteins in the grains, like the gluten proteins, just sticking up everybody's sticky gluey, or the excessive animal flesh proteins that just over time just build up and leave residues and layers. So very easily digestible, and you'll notice a difference for all y'all young guys or anybody who wants to gain some muscle weight. You will notice a difference in the digestibility, and you will feel jacked. Believe me, I've done quite a few experiments with this stuff to take out any placebo effect. It's like it definitely gets you pumped up. So what I do is I take that and I make a variety of dressings, and I'll have, basically at night is vegetable time. So it's kind of like fruits and carbs and liquids and minerals during the day, and then vegetables at night. And I like the high water vegetables. So mostly what I eat with the Puridyme, which is pretty much, I have this probably 5 or 6 nights a week. Ever since I started this, I've gone through 3 bags in about 4 weeks. So not quite a bag a week, but pretty close. So I've gone through 3 of those, and I'm going to go through the rest of these 3 too. Probably about 1 a week, and so on average. And then there'll be some nights where I just don't feel like it intuitively, so I don't force myself, and I'll have something a little lighter. Like if it's one of the nights where I didn't work out, I'll have a lighter salad. Maybe just throw an avocado, squeeze some lemon over the top, and some sprouts, maybe some shredded carrots or something. Very simple, very light, if I don't feel like I need the protein. I usually crave the protein after these heavy workouts, especially after leg day. I'm like, I can't wait to get home and get this in. Because the legs, those will get you jacked. You know what I mean? Arm days, not, you're just working a little bit. You're just But then when you go on the legs, well, deadlift day too. It's the same thing. When I do the compound pow with the deadlifts, which is every other back workout, but the legs, I'm always jonesing for the power when I get home. So I'll take this. Look at this bok choy. I'm just gonna show it to you, like straight up. What up? And so I use cucumbers, bok choy, and celery and lettuce. Those are like my main staples right there. Lots of cucumbers. Just that's probably the main one. Is just I'll mix this up in my favorite bowl right here. This gorgeous little cutie. I love it. And then I'll just dip my cucumbers, you know. Or I'll dip every once in a while some carrots, every once in a while some beets, not that often, you know, only a couple of times really over the last month, but every once in a while I get a hankering for some carrots or some beets. But mostly I like the tender green plants that have a lot of water and a lot of minerals, and I want to chew for my teeth, and the fiber for the microorganisms. It's all a great system. It's a balanced raw vegan lifestyle. I know I'm a little bit extreme. It's like, you just broke a water fast and now you're at the gym. I can't keep up with you, Life Rejuvenator. I'm extreme. I don't recommend kind of living like I do, but my life's a constant learning experience. I want to keep learning. The fasting was such a great learning experience. And then the refeeding for the last 40 days has taught me more about health than I've learned in all the rest of the 18 years I've been studying raw vegan nutrition. Just revelation after revelation, and how anybody, anywhere, at any time can cure themselves of any disease, lose weight, heal up anything, regenerate themselves by understanding the herbs and the fruit and the water fasting, and how to break all the crap down and squeeze the sponge out and get all the toxins and the chemicals and the plastics and the BPA and the benzene and the metals and the toxins that are inhibiting the glands in your body from functioning optimally. And if you can get all that crap out of the way, which is being injected into society so that it dumbs everyone down and makes them fat and sick, if you can get rid of all that crap, you can do amazing regeneration. I'm just barely getting started. I'm going for it. I'm not going to let anybody, anywhere, even my friends, they don't understand. You're too extreme. Please stop. You're too skinny. You're emaciated. I was emaciated for a few weeks, but do you have any idea how clean my liver is now, or how much cleaner it is compared to the people who are like, you're too emaciated? I'm emaciated for a couple of weeks, but now my liver's clean and I'm not emaciated anymore. I'm still skinny, but I'm strong and healthy. And so if I go through a little bit, it's like, as human beings, we don't want to have a little bit of discomfort to come out. You know, it's like, that's why there's only one gold medalist, because only a couple of people are going to be willing to do what it takes. The other guys are going to be like, Bobby, why do you have to go to the pool and go swim every day? You know? Dan, why do you got to keep fasting and cleansing yourself? You know, because, and that's just the nature of human beings. But I'm not like that. I have energy to spare, I'm curious, and I want to live life balls to the wall. And I'm not afraid. I never was afraid. When I was on a 40-day water fast, I wasn't even close to even one complication of any kind in any way, shape, or form. I'm too educated. I'm too knowledgeable. I'm not stupid. I wasn't forcing anything. It was very easy, effortless. I mean, yes, I didn't sleep for a week, but it was an amazing experience. And I will be doing it again for very many reasons, because I understand the DNA. I understand what's happening in our world today and how our DNA is under attack. And most people are absolutely oblivious. They have no idea that their DNA is unraveling, and each preceding generation is degenerating at a breakneck speed. the neurological problems, the health problems. I mean, 8-year-olds with cancer, kids being born with cancer. Very easy, very simple to understand why all this is happening. You know, very, very simple and basic understanding, but you have to be in the know. You have to understand the plan that some other dude has for your life. So if you don't have a direct plan, which is get healthy, stay healthy at all costs, and care for this temple, and keep all these fools with all their toxic, nasty restaurant food, crap at the store. Because if it's all about money at the restaurant, they're going to make a lot of food. It's going to be cheap crap with a lot of chemicals in it to make it taste good, so you come back for more. But you don't want that, because then you're going to get overweight and sick and get diabetes and have every kind of problem. And you don't want to get caught up in the medical merry-go-round either, because those fools don't know their ass from a hole in the wall. And they're killing everybody and completely oblivious to it, because their training is based on, you know, criteria that are set from these psychopaths that don't give a flippin' rip about your health and wouldn't cure you for no reason at all. They want you as a customer. They ain't gonna have my business, because I'm gonna be my own damn doctor. Dr. Fresh Air, Dr. Sunshine, Dr. Sleep on Time, you know, Dr. Relaxation, Dr. Exercise, Dr. Fresh, Whole, Unpoisoned, Untainted, Unprocessed, Conscious Food. And I'm going to keep on rolling, because I'm having a good ass time, you know what I'm saying? Word. So I think that's about enough for today, you know. Ask your questions. I forgot about the DHA, which is the you know, the omega-3s for vegans, made from algae. Take a bunch of that. Take some more of that right now. No joke, man. So, a few supplements, but not a lot. You know, probiotics, enzymes, protein powders, you know, a few things. I mean, if I was living out in nature and I wasn't lifting weights and the world wasn't the way it was, like if the food, you know, this is really good food that we have here. But I know that there are a lot of folks that do not have access to really good food. And that's where the Shilajit can come in. The juicing can help concentrate and give you an opportunity to kind of, you know, if you tried to eat all that big pile of vegetables, you'd be there for a minute, right? But if you put it all through the juicer and just get those liquid minerals into your body, that living water, it's going to be a nice supplementation, you know? And there's just so many nuances to it, and that's been one of the difficulties in making these videos. Is, you know, I do a consultation every day, and every single person is so different. And so to speak in generalities, you know, I'm better at one-on-one context. So the generalized videos of this is how it is for everyone all the time doesn't work. And I'm too smart, and I know that. And so it's been difficult, and that's why my videos are so long too, because I understand the nuances too. It's not a one-size-fits-all kind of a thing, you know? It's nuance, it's context, it's stages of life, it's previous, interventions, if you will. There's a lot going on in this world, and we have to take care of ourselves. Very few. Nature. You know, what does that mean? I mean, it's, again, a lot of nuance there. But anyways, I got to go to the gym before it gets too late, because I want to get back here and have my snack so that I can get to bed on time, because getting to bed on time is absolutely essential. I try to get to bed by 8:30. When the lights go down and the animals go to sleep, that's when I go to sleep. But then I wake up at 4 or 5 in the morning, about 4:30, 5 in the morning, and I come out here and I meditate. And that is the absolute number one thing, is to meditate. To sit for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 20 minutes and be there with God. And just keep surrendering your thoughts and surrendering all the tension and surrendering your worries and just getting straight with yourself before your day begins. And then some yoga to stretch, to keep yourself, limber and flexible so you don't get all stiff, And lots of fresh water out of the distiller and out of the fruits and vegetables, and then the yoga stretches, the rebounding, and that's my sadhana in the morning. An hour of yoga, an hour of meditation, 30 minutes of yoga, and 30 minutes of rebounding. And then we can start the day. Then we can take a bath or take a walk or, do a consult or whatever. And then I've been doing this and I've been so busy, I haven't really been able to focus on the weight gaining, but I still met my goal, 45 pounds. Well, 40 pounds in 40 days was my goal. So you can lose a pound a day and you can gain a pound a day and do it the Dan McDonald Life Regenerator way. Ha ha ha. So you're a powerhouse. You are the master of your destiny. And it can be done. Anything can be done. I just did this whole thing. I went over here and did this water fast. Oh my God. Now I'm over here at the gym and all my friends are like, whoa, dude, you look really good, And somewhere for me as a yogi is the sweet spot in the middle. I don't need to be buff. I'm never going to impress anyone. I don't have the frame for it. I don't have the anything for it. But I'm just glad to be fit and active. My girlfriend's 25. I want to be no child left behind, what I'm saying? No old man left behind. And she is spry and she is strong. She's got strong legs and she knows how to move. And so I got to keep up. So I got to keep my organs clean, my glands clean, my colon clean, my liver clean. And after that, that's the temple. Then there's another level of it where you start surrendering more deeply into that spaciousness that comes from the fasting, And so it's really more than what people think. It's like, you're already skinny. Why are you fasting? You got an eating disorder, Life Regenerator. And then it's like, well, and then they're like 50 pounds overweight. And it's like, wait a minute. So the norm is insane. The norm is sick. And that's what's going on in the world today. Literally, people are like, I'm autistic, and I'm proud. And I'm like, you are proud of having inflammation in your brain and brain damage? Oh, Dan, that's not what it is. It's genetic. It's not my fault. It's like there's a cause for everything. And I'm talking about real autism, That really pisses me off. I'm autistic. Oh, and you just wrote a perfectly legible, perfectly punctuated sentence from your day job? I'm talking about 18-year-old kids that are still shitting their pants, banging their head against the wall, and haven't spoken a word in 17 years. That's the kind of autism I'm talking about. And all these Rain Man wannabes that are so proud to be on the spectrum. It's like, brain damage is nothing to be proud of, but sickness is the new norm. And that's the world we're living in, where sickness is the new norm. But that is not good enough for me. Not me. I don't know about you, but it is not good enough for me. Only wellness, only wellness, just wellness. You have so much power in your meditations to cleanse and heal and regenerate and listen to your intuition. You know what to do. You just got to love yourself enough to do it. Find the drive to do it. DTM, I'm going to the gym. I'm out. I'll make videos on the bag. I'll make a video on the DHA. I'll make more Pyridine videos, of course, because that's what keeps my skinny ass from getting even skinnier, is the Pyridine stuff. So praise the Lord for that. Thank you, Ricky Breslin. Thank you, Phil and Lou and Dave at Pyridine. And thank everyone for watching this video. And yeah, it's been nice to be here with you. I hope that you can gain some weight if you want to, or lose some weight, but you're the power. I'm trying to get over all that crap and just live in the center and just let the body be what it is. I don't need to build it up or break it down, but just let it settle into its greatest possibility for realization, for that spiritual journey. That means more to me than anything. And so all this muscle crap and everything else and the whole ego of YouTube that's pretty much driving me crazy because I just want to be a simple, basic nobody. My life is boring, you know? My diet is boring. I make all these fancy foods for everyone else, but mine is just plain Jane boring. And I don't even really want anything, and so it's just crazy. You know, my life is perfect. I just went and got coconuts, and I love coconuts because I love the wind and the loudness of social media. And then there's the wind and the birds and the sun and the bugs and the ants crawling all over me and the grass scratching my legs as I tromp through the jungle with these huge backpack full of coconuts. And I try to think to myself, how can I get more out into there? And I know that a lot of people have told me that I've been a blessing, you know, through these videos, and so, yeah. We'll talk. I'm gonna sit down, we'll talk, okay? But I will not be having a discussion with you unless I've got my brain on, baby. Peace, y'all.
Get jacked!